So I just want to come on today and give a warning that if you are in places you should not be, violating the conscience of other people, you are working against the saint and you are the enemy. God said he will blot out man because he regretted them. You want to know why he regretted them? Because their thoughts and intention of the heart was only on evil. It's only on evil. And the background of pornography, very specifically, is a sacred thing, a sacred act that creates people that God has granted for us to multiply and be fruitful. And it's created an industry where people think it's okay to go to sacred places they don't belong, and to be the third person in the room instead of God being the third person in the room. You want to know why, according to the book of Genesis, that God wanted to blot man out, just like he said he'll blot man out of the book of life? It's because their thoughts, I said it already, but nobody must be listening. Their thoughts and intentions of the heart were continuously evil. If you are places that are sacred, that you do not belong, he will blot your name out. And you're working very actively against the saints. Let this world do what it's going to do. Let it be what it's going to be. But because clearly you're too apathetic to change anything, you will never change anything. And that's fine by me because you have the answer to God. But truth be told, you will not be blessed if you curse God's people. I'm telling you right now. So you can heed the warning if you wish. But it's not like, oh, call me an apostle or call me saint or call me this or call me that. Or, oh, you have to grant these special things to me. I'm not asking for anything special. I'm saying, could you please do right by God and stop violating your conscience by going into the conscience of another human being? Because that is an act of evil, and it's a continuous type of evil. If you're in places you should not dwell and you hear a need, why don't you have the nerve to fill the need? Why don't you have the nerve to do the right thing? If you hear a need privately and you choose to be in places you do not deserve to be, then why don't you have the nerve to do right instead of always meet it with some contradictory thing, and make sure those who decide to be contradictory get met with the same type of energy they're bringing? How about that? How about you do something that's like good instead of virtue signaling and talking about how good of a person you are? How about you do the right thing and show how good of a person you are? Oh, I think I hear somebody crying for help. Oh, think I can hear them suffering psychological psychosis, because of all the nonsense that's happening around them. Oh, I think they're internally bleeding psychologically. Oh, I think they need some other type of help. I can hear they're crying for help. God hears them too, because he's in the exact place he should be that you should not be. And he also sees how when that person's bleeding, crying out for help, or psychologically wounded without an arm, how you laugh. You wouldn't do it in public, no, because, you see a homeless man who's crying out for help. You wouldn't laugh because other people around you who you value, you don't value God. You don't value the man. You value the virtue signal. You want how I know this? You want to know how I know it's a human issue? It's a human problem? It's because anytime you're in a private place, you do what people in torture chambers do. Nothing except continuously provide pain to another human being because you know you can. But that person who's in torture chambers wouldn't do that somewhere in the middle of Times Square. Usually. I mean, there's this issue with the bystander effect or whatever. But what I'm trying to say right now is there's a serious human problem. It's the core of what it is to be human. And you think it's goodness, kindness, and humanity. I argue different. And I think all the evidence is around us. You are the evidence. I am the evidence. The fact that we've chosen not to say anything, chosen to remain silent, chosen to hear the cry and decide I'm going to actually put the knife in a little deeper and turn it. And you know what I'm talking about. It ends now. The psychological gaslighting, the nonsense that humanity has decided to partake in. I'm not going to partake in it. I'm going to look at the rest of society and make it clear to God, who's in those very places, that he knows what I'm talking about. I'm going to do this right in front of him and in front of you in this video as a witness. This is what separates me from them. They can look at this, what certain people deserve, which is no privacy in any way, shape, form. That's what they deserve, according to humanity. Because for some reason, they've been chosen for such things. And I say no. They decided to be quiet. I'm not going to remain quiet. They decided not to help. I'm going to help. They decided to be apathetic and to be, cowards. The cowardly shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. The cowardly shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. We are to be bold. We are to be brave. And we are to be as gentle as doves, but as wise as serpents. I'm telling you right now, I want God to see the divide between those who decided to be saints and to be called as such, in fear and trembling before Him, answering to Him because I know He's real, because my conscience screams to Him for this, and He's the only one who's ever answered me, while everybody else was there listening as an audience member in this coliseum that is this reality, and it's decided we're actually going to lean in on her torture. No, my God's got you. So decide today, are you a saint and you're in, or you're the world and you're out? Your name's going to be blotted out. Now it's your decision, because the only person who could put yourself in the type of hell He has prepared is you, because He's the one who knows that door. He knows what happens behind that door. He's the one in control, and we are called to pull people out of whatever's coming. That's what we're called to do, and this is a blind spot for us. So I'm going to show where I stand. I'm going to show where I stand. And I'm the most blindest of everybody. I have no idea how that works. I stand with the little saints, and I know what it feels like. May God be with you.